As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the story crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, mothers, let's go down, let's go down, come on down. Oh, mothers, let's go down, down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the robe and crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, brothers, let's go down, let's go down, come on down. Oh, brothers, let's go down, down in the river to pray.
I can't remember the first time I heard gospel music, but it absolutely called to me in the same way that blues music, although having said that, blues music, I feel it in my guts, whereas gospel music is sort of in my heart.
Our house was full of beautiful, well-honed voices. We didn't have commercial radio. I was living in the Kimberley. In the 1960s, you didn't turn on the radio, you put on an album, you put on the old vinyl. So I heard, by the time I was probably 5 or 6, I'd heard many great voices set to folk music, blues music, great storytellers.
Look, for me, blues and gospel, it's the power of the vocal style, really, just like, oh, real passion, feeling, amazing stuff. I just love it.
The door's wide open, waiting for you so you don't knock. Just walk on in, yeah.
I don't consider myself I don't know, religious person as per se, but I like to sing the gospel because I feel like it brings us all in together. It kind of evens out the playing field in a way too. Everyone can sing it, there's choruses that they can sing, everyone can clap hands, everyone can get up and dance, we can just enjoy it. And the blues music, of course, is about everyday life that we all have to live through and encounter.
I don't know if we can understand so much why it's important to African Americans, because we don't have that same traumatic experience of being taken from our motherland and transplanted as slaves in another country. But what we have in common is the human condition. You know, we know suffering. You know, for an Irish Australian, the potato famine and all those, terrible, terrible things that happened. I mean, we've all done bad things to each other over the years anyway, regardless of colour or creed, but we can all relate to the human condition. So yeah, we've all suffered deeply and we've all felt great ecstasy, and that music just, today you can see it speaks to people. People just, it allows for great expression.
When I first moved down to Victoria from Darwin, country girl, well, Darwin girl, never really sung much, not a whole lot, and covers, and sort of first started getting into blues and used to go to the Sleepy Hollow Blues Club down in Geelong. I was living down that way, and Jeff Donaldson, who was the harp player from Muddy Puddles, was the president at the time, and his Muddy Puddles used to come and play and stay at the pub I worked at up in Darwin. And so he kind of took me under his wing, and I used to hang out with his family a bit, and I would go to the jam nights with him and his wife, and Kerri Simpson was playing. And I'd only been down here a couple of months, I reckon, and I just sort of sat like this with my legs crossed on the dance floor, just in awe of her. I do remember that quite clearly, and it was very... So it's, it's a bit of an honour and a privilege to now be sharing the stage with her.
Going somewhere and hearing music and seeing a performer, like I went to Long Beach a couple of years ago, and Mavis was singing there, and the Blind Boys from Alabama were singing there, and we literally were sitting in a paddock, I think they call it a field, or a park, and it was very laid back, very casual. It was daytime, and the music was happening, and you could just feel the energy flowing between the people. And if you smiled at someone, they'd smile back. If you were singing along, it was cool. Everyone was allowed to enjoy it in their own particular way, and I love it when you go to hear music and it makes your hair stand up, or it actually gets into your psyche and your physical being. And I think if you let it, it will.
One in particular who just moves me to tears and to laughter is Mavis Staples, and I've seen her live a number of times now, and she sings a sort of a lot of gospel but also secular music, and she just has that she's just a beaming spirit, and you're lost in the performance. Like you're not sitting back kind of judging it anymore. You're just in the song or in the so that for me it's Mavis Staples, I'd say.
On that other shore, I sit way over, way over, way over, way over. On that other shore. Now listen, if you miss me from singing, you will find me nowhere. Come on up to bright glory. I'll be singing up there. Oh, yeah.
I do really have an understanding of music and being able to express yourself through song and through voice as a real full self-expression, and in times of trauma and grief and heartbreak, that it can be really, really cathartic.
They put me in a house full of grace. Now for me it's kicking up this. This is the end of this terrible song. She was a good gal, but the time,
It's about us borrowing and learning and getting the enjoyment out of that music, and then spreading the gospel, if you like. Going out there, performing it so that everyone can have a good time with it, everyone can let go, or join in, or ruminate on what's happening in their own personal lives, or how their spirituality affects their own personal lives. So I don't know, I think it's music for the people.
I don't know a lot about the history of music. I've never really sort of soaked myself in it, I guess, and I just love to sing it. I just love to sing it and feel it and experience it.
Back in 1997, I went overseas with Tony Backhouse and a group of other Australians, and we sang in gospel churches in New Orleans and Alabama and New York, and that it changed my life musically, but also it just opened me up to lots of different ways of singing and performing, not as a contrived performance, but as just an expression. And that's, for me, what blues and gospel music is about. It's really feeling deep, deep sadness, as well as incredible joy and ecstasy and everything in between. And that both those forms of music allow for that.
Jesus is my plea.
you.